Sensei Frank Brennan demonstrates the masterful use of karate technique whilst bag training. He is one of the very few karateka to be competitively successful in both kata and kumite, and is renowned for his amazing speed, power and classical technique. His skill is a result of many years of dedicated training, and in this tape, Sensei Brennan will demonstrate the training methods that brought him success. This success includes 7 times Karate Union of Great Britain Grand Champion and twice European Grand Champion. In 1980, he ensured himself a place in karate history by beating world champion Mori with a spectacular kick to the head, a feat which is still recalled in awe after all these years. Shotokan karate is a martial art which has its origins in the Far East. It is the most widely practiced style of karate in the world and owes much of its popularity to its structured and well-disciplined approach. It is a very dynamic art and makes extreme physical demands on the body in terms of flexibility, strength, balance, reaction and coordination. This tape is designed to teach you how to structure your training correctly and should be constantly referred to in order to gain the maximum benefit from your studies. Sensei Brennan is here demonstrating the calisthenics or warm-up exercises which should precede any karate training to reduce the risk of sprains and pulls and to ensure maximum flexibility. This flexibility is important in not that it just allows maximum reach, but also in that it allows movements to be fluid and direct, thereby ensuring fast delivery of techniques. The exercises shown here are mostly self-explanatory. They should be performed slowly and without any sudden or sharp movements. Flexibility varies tremendously from person to person, and the aim is to stretch your body to its limit and not to expect miracles. It is important that the exercises are performed on a smooth, flat, non-slip surface, which is preferably sprung. The floor shown here is ideal. It is also very important to practice in an environment that is warm if injuries are to be avoided. Sensei Brennan without doubt falls into the category of super flexible, so you must not feel disappointed if you are unable to copy his movements exactly. Shotokan karate is a highly sophisticated martial art which originated in Japan. It is comprised of Kion, the fundamental techniques, kata, the formal exercises which are sequences of both defensive and attacking movements against an imaginary opponent, and kumite, which is actually sparring with a partner. All three have a wide range of movements, advancing in degrees of difficulty. Your progress in karate depends upon constant study and hard training. However, you should learn the movements slowly at first, speeding up as competence develops. Throughout the program, both Japanese and English terminology will be used. Progressing from driving the right side of the body forward, which is used to add power to the reverse punch, this sequence also demonstrates the thrusting action of the left side. Both sides of the body must be driven forward and an upright posture maintained. Practice both slowly and fast, tensing the muscles of the legs, buttocks and stomach upon completion. The reverse punch is performed by coordinating the straight punch with the thrusting forward of the right side. Now demonstrated is Kazamazuki or jab punch, which uses the thrusting forward of the left side to add power. Tense the whole body upon completion and practice repetitions with vigour and determination in order to develop the techniques to a higher and higher level. Kazamazuki is widely used in competition, and Andy Brennan is seen here scoring with the technique at various British and European championships. The lunge punch or oizuki uses the legs to drive the body forward into the attack. Keep the knees bent throughout the step and lock the rear leg straight in time with the punch. The hips remain square. As proficiency increases, techniques are practiced in combination to develop flow and coordination. In this case, 3 consecutive punches, or Sanbonzuki. It is emphasised that the individual arm technique is only a small part of the overall scheme of Shotokan karate training. A very important aspect is the development of the means of delivering techniques effectively. And although agiyuki is demonstrated here, a numerous variety of techniques may also be used, as the following sequence demonstrate. Uriken or back fist strike utilises the back of the index and middle finger knuckles as the striking area. The technique is practiced by using the elbow to snap the fist back as shown. Make sure that the fist is tense when striking. Uriken is practiced from many starting positions, in this case from the waist, especially for kata practice, and from the neck during Kion training. Using the same body movement as agiyuki, but using uriken in its place. This sequence demonstrates the link between movements. The same body power and timing is used in both techniques. This sequence advances to the combination movements of agiyuki and gyakuzuki, and again demonstrates that the means of delivering techniques, in this case the stepping forward and the rotation of the body, once developed, can be used to apply many other movements. The technique being linked with agiyuki gyakuzuki, in this case, is enpiuchi or elbow strike. There are 2 basic ways of striking. First, by keeping the elbow bent throughout the technique, and second, by actually using the bending action of the elbow to strike, as shown here. Agi enpiuchi, rising elbow strike. Mai enpiuchi, front elbow strike. Yoko enpiuchi, side elbow strike. Agiyuki Gyakuzuki are now replaced by Agi Empiuchi and Mai Empiuchi. Note that the stepping and body rotation are exactly the same. The arm actions alone are only part of the technique, and one of the most important aspects of your training is to develop the use of the whole body. This sequence advances to a combination of three techniques: Agiyuki, Gyakuzuki, Gidembarai. Note the timing of Gidembarai. It is very important to develop precise coordination of body technique, speed and tension in order to generate maximum power. Shutouchi, or knife hand strike, is the technique now being linked to the last combination. The outer edge of the hand is used as the striking area. Note that the hand is held rigid and the thumb pulled back on the side of the hand. The elbow is fully bent when starting the technique and the arm twists upon completion. Shutouchi may also be used to strike from the inside outwards, as shown here. Agiyuki Gyakuzuki Gidembarai are now replaced with Shutouchi. Note that the coordination is exactly the same. The means of delivering techniques effectively is one of the most important aspects of karate, and you must always be aware of this while practicing the fundamental movements. This combination links together many of the techniques previously demonstrated, but includes a new range of body movement, including Yori Ashi or sliding step. Always aim to coordinate the body movements and tension in time with the technique. Shutouchi or knife hand block is now demonstrated individually and in combination with other techniques. Note the timing of the hip pivot. And now combined with nugate or spear hand strike. Coordinate the step and strike exactly. And now Shutouchi, Mai Geri, nugate. Maintain the position of the upper body whilst kicking. As the student advances, techniques are often practiced from the freestyle position, as demonstrated here with Mai Geri. Keep the arms relaxed whilst kicking, so that it is always possible to use them even as the kick is being delivered. Yokogeri Kokomi or side thrust kick is now practiced to the front. The hips are twisted and driven forward in time with the kick. Note the timing of the hip twist. In its basic form, the round kick or mawashi geri travels on a wide arc to the target and uses the ball of the foot as the striking area. The knee remains high throughout the kick and the leg snaps back on the same line as the strike. Always aim to develop coordination of the kick and hip action. And now mawashi geri in competition. The shiro geri or back kick uses the heel as the striking area. The hips are driven back in time with the kick. The shiro geri is often practiced from the front stance and the kick is delivered by spinning. Note the line of the kicking foot and the timing of the spin and hips. As competency increases, kicks are practiced in combination. The movements must be smooth and flowing, with the maximum use made of the hips. Keep the upper body relaxed. Mai geri, yoko geri. Mai geri, mawashi geri. Mawashi geri, yushiro geri. combinations are practiced to develop smooth, continuous, rhythmical movements, as seen here in European competition. Kata, considered by the old masters as the soul of karate, is an imaginary fight against several opponents and consists of a set pattern of defensive and attacking movements. Kata allows the karateka to demonstrate their technical skill in competition. Frank Brennan, who has won numerous kata titles, is seen here performing the advanced kata Sochin in the elimination rounds of the 1986 European Championships, in which Frank took first place. Ian Sandan, the third kata in the Ian series, and practiced at 7th kyu or yellow belt. Ian Sandan introduces the more complex double arm blocks and attacks, elbow blocking and stamp kicks, and for the first time certain movements are practiced slowly to develop the attitude of sanchin, or the martial attitude of awareness. And now a more detailed side view. Ian Yondan, the fourth kata in the Ian series, and practiced at 6th kyu or green belt. Ian Godan, the 5th kata in the Ian series, and practiced at 5th kyu or purple belt.
Yang Godan. Yang Godan. Take your shoulder. Take your shoulder. Take your shoulder. Take your shoulder.
Ippon kumite, or one-step sparring, is the second major form of kumite to be practiced. It introduces a much wider range of techniques for both attack and counter-attack. Both block and counter-attack must be effective and delivered with the maximum speed and focus. The block must be timed correctly in order to divert the opponent's attack, and the counter-attack delivered accurately to the target. Kumite must be practiced with a calm but alert attitude, exploding into vigorous fighting spirit to enhance the effectiveness of the techniques. Agiyuki, or rising block. Rotate the body to add power to both block and counter-attack. Focus the counter onto the target. All of the defences demonstrated may be practiced on either side, as shown here. Chudan Sotouki, or outside block. Always keep your posture upright. Never lean onto the block or counter. Chudan Uchiyuki, or inside block. Shuto uki, or knife hand block. Use the thrusting from back stance into front stance to add extra power into the counter. Gedembarai, or downward block, is especially used for blocking kicks. Sometimes practice sidestepping is shown, often counter to the head, particularly if the body is covered, as shown here. This sequence shows a wider variety of techniques, together with various strategies for attaining the correct distance to counter-attack. By angling your sidestep, you can adjust the distance needed to reach the target. Rotate the hips as shown when punching. This time, step straight back, but make the distance by pulling your opponent towards you. Never lean. Thrust forward to make the distance, but twist the body as you strike with the elbow. Again, thrust forward, counter-attack with the back fist strike. Thrust from back stance to front stance, counter-attacking with the spear hand strike. This time the distance is made by stepping back. Make contact with the ball of the foot. Again, step back, but pull the opponent forward to increase the power of the counter-attack. This time, step back and slightly to the side. Counter with mawashi geri. As your skill develops, practice combination counter-attacks, making sure that each technique is correctly distanced and effective. Note the various steps and body shifts throughout this sequence of defences. Blocks may be practiced in order to gain an advantageous position to counter-attack. The techniques shown here are a small sample of the movements possible in Ippon kumite. They may be mixed in numerous ways with the various distance-making steps and body shifts, but the aim is to automatically make the correct distance and counter-attack effectively. At the end of training, loosen down to relax muscles. at the end of training, kneel motionlessly. This is known as moksu.